Now, being nimble has been very key for the company. Klook Home very much front and center. Reflecting the times on the website, you see a drop-down menu for car rentals as well as trains in China. This, as you're seeing, domestic spending in the leisure space, very much an anchor for Klook. So how is revenue performance shaping up going into 2021? And are you anticipating a return of leisure travel in the second half as projected by the AIDA director?
Thank you for having me, Sophie. Yes, like you said, I think everyone's really excited about travel recovering. And as you mentioned, everybody's expecting cross-border to open up in the second half of this year. But what we have actually seen over the last 6 to 9 months is that travel and leisure has already started coming back, particularly in markets where the pandemic is well controlled. So for example, in Singapore, in places like Hong Kong, we're already engaging with our consumer, helping them find things to do over the weekends.
And which other markets do you see opening up faster? How are you positioning then to provide your offerings alongside this recovery?
Yes, so we operate in more than 20 cities, and so we're really an Asia player. So we're engaging with our consumer all across Asia. And as I mentioned, Singapore, we're one of the 5 platforms that's helping the government stimulate leisure, and we're the leading platform to process the Singapore Rediscover vouchers. So really it ranges from Universal Studios to staycation with the nice hotels and tours and activities. So really anything that the consumers are interested to do, we're able to help them make it more convenient, more digital, and more safe, of course.
Is it safe to assume that you won't be stepping back from Klook Home, Klook Live as offerings for your customers? Will they be rolled out to more markets? How are your conversion rates looking?
Yeah, so the new functions that you mentioned in terms of Klook Live and Klook Home, I think all of these are to stay. I think what we're seeing now is that digital adoption is picking up both for the consumers as well as the merchants. So with our recent Series E funding, we'll be investing more to help our merchant become more digitally savvy. That would include contactless tracing as well as live streaming, as you mentioned.
So on that, as you've pointed out, merchants are at the heart of this. Digitization will be key. There's certainly some competition in that space. KKday, for example, on track with its Rezio software. So what's the progress on mapping out B2B solutions to better integrate merchants into the ecosystem? What's the progress?
Yes, actually, merchant has always been in our hearts since we started the company several years ago. And actually, we continue to invest helping our merchant, particularly out here in Asia. A lot of them are small, medium enterprises, helping them become more tech savvy. And so with this new round of investment, we're really looking to strengthen that capability. And through Klook, they're able to connect with a lot of strategic business partners. Last year, we launched a strategic partnership with Grab in Southeast Asia. And so we continue to help bridge merchants with consumers, as well as merchants with other large internet players.
Have there been any more tweaks to commission fees charged to your vendors?
No, we are actually very supportive. So, as I mentioned, in Singapore, we're one of the platform working with the government for Singapore Rediscover. And with that program, we're trying to help merchants as much as we can, not in terms of both in terms of our digital platform, but as well as making sure that they earn their commissions, so they're able to support and grow their business.
Now, B2C still very much at the heart of what Klook does. How are the numbers looking? What's the monthly user count that you've seen year to date?
Yeah, we're seeing traffic come back very, very quickly, and traffic is near pre-COVID levels. Over the last 12 months, we have really been able to engage with our customer in terms of a domestic perspective, and we're seeing domestic business have 3 to 4 times growth. In terms of cross-border, we expect that to come back later this year, as you mentioned. And so overall, I think the company is in a good place. We continue to build our platform, and we expect travel to continue to be a mega trend going forward.
What other customized offerings are potentially in the works to suit evolving customer behaviors, going hyper-local? That's been an increasing focus for Klook.
Correct. So we have always been mobile first, and we think that will be increasingly important. In the new era of travel post-COVID, we think convenience, being digital, being flexible, all these are really important to the consumer. And to add on top of that, I think it's helping the consumer make their trip more personal. So having a lot of crowds, multi-day tours, I think a lot of these will change. And so being able to dictate your own trip on your mobile when you're in destination, that is really important.
Yeah, people want to have things now instantaneously. Now, other players are coming into the leisure activity space. In September, Amazon Explore launched, following in the footsteps of Airbnb Experiences and TripAdvisor's Viator. How are you accounting for this increasing competition?
Yeah, I think a lot of the companies you mentioned are great companies. It just demonstrate that travel and leisure is a huge market, over 7 trillion. And we think that we definitely have made a mark here in Asia, and we'll continue to deepen our presence here. And so we think that with the emerging middle class and consumer in Asia, there's a lot of room for growth for everyone, including ourselves.
Have you had to scale back operations in any markets, perhaps where you may see some struggle, or have you had to put the brakes in some of these markets?
Yeah, last year definitely was not an easy year for a lot of companies, including ourselves. But I think overall, we have managed the situation quite well, and we continue to gradually evolve our business so that we're in a better position to build for the future. And so that would include adjustment to some of our teams here and there. But I think overall, we're committed to building a global business.
And Chuang, with the increasing interest in ESG, will there be plans to revive the impact tourism idea?
Yeah, so we're actually a key stakeholder with the various tourism board in the markets that we operate in. And I think that is increasingly a topic that there needs to be coordination. And we're in the heart of that communication about how to make tourism more sustainable, more impactful for the long term.